Welcome back to another Trading 212 portfolio update video, and today I'm guessing a lot of people are interested to see how it is because obviously we have had a bit of a crash, you could say, in the stock market with all the tariffs and what Donald Trump is doing. So let's get into the video and let's talk about it. But before we do get into the video, if you want a free fractional share worth up to £100 on Trading 212, then use my code BEN or use the link in the description and you'll get a free fractional share worth up to £100. And you can also still use that code even if you signed up 10 days later on Trading 212. So make sure to use that. So we're in a crash. We've just kind of got into a crash, you could say, especially on the NASDAQ. From the all-time high, we're down 20%. And yeah, it's bad. Obviously, my stocks are pretty much all invested into those high growth tech AI plays. And when you're getting these type of news with the tariffs, then it's not going to be good news. And especially with pretty much all the companies in America, like, it's going to really affect the whole economy. And you've got to think of it like, for instance, like Nike stock, for instance, if they're doing these tariffs and having these high tariffs, then it's almost like one big massive tax on, for let's say Nike to import, like to get socks or shoes or whatever they're getting made out in Vietnam, let's say, or wherever they're getting made. You're having to then pay a massive tariff, a massive tax to then get it back and import back. So that's a massive issue. You're probably not going to see America wanting to do those type of jobs that are, I say, low paid or very hard graft. And that is one reason why, the whole point is why companies went abroad, because they'll be a lot cheaper, because sadly that's just the way the world is. And that's the way, yes, they get paid unfairly, massively, but they need the income and they'll accept the work, and that's what they'll do. And the thing is, this will hurt massively on margins, and also we might actually start having companies, well, we will, raising prices, which is why people worry about inflation again, and things are going to cost more money. And it's like, there's a lot of issues with what Trump has done. And I know people think he's doing it because he wants the interest rates to be cut, and also it's his way, and thinks that that's a revenue source that we can make money on. But if that's his thinking, that's completely wrong, because if that's the issue, if he's just doing this because he just wants these rate cuts being done, then his plan might work. We'll have to see. But it's all a bit up in the air in the sense of, as investors, hence why the stock market has absolutely crashed, is because we don't know where it's going to be going. We don't know how this is going to, we don't know where the world's going to go, in the sense of with America, like where the stocks are going to be, because it's hard to predict what their margins are going to be. It's hard to predict what their revenues are going to be. And this is a major issue, because as an investor, you want to know what the margins are going to be, how much money the company's going to be making, and a lot of things just get thrown around, and it becomes really hard to then analyze where the stock can be. And this is the big issue, and this is what a lot of people are frightened about and fearful of, because if these tariffs do actually go through and what he actually wants to do, then we could be in for a bit of a horrible situation in that sense. But at the end of the day, still, Warren Buffett always says, like, get greedy when everyone's fearful, and then also get fearful when everyone else is greedy and buying. So that's why I'm personally taking advantage of this. And yeah, this is just an absolute craziness. And yeah, sorry for the massive long intro, but I think that was needed, and needed for people to listen to. Just to clarify as well, look at this, the S&P 500, the VIX, like, this is insane. It's up 40, and I think it got to 45 at one point. And it just shows you all these major crashes over the last 15 years or so, like the 2008 situation. Look how high the VIX went. Look how high in 2020 went with COVID. Look how high we are now. Like, we're like we are pretty much the third highest it's ever been in the last 15 years. And normally it's a sign to buy when the VIX is at these situations. And that's something to just kind of bear in mind and have a thought about. Also, if you look at here, Mag 7 drawdown from all-time highs, Tesla down 51%, Nvidia down 38%, Meta down 31%, Amazon down nearly 30%, Google 29%, Apple 27%, Microsoft 23%. Like, they've been hit hard. The Magnificent Seven have been hit hard. And also in the stock market, there's also been 5.3 trillion over the last 2 days been wiped out. And that's insane. Like, we've drawn down and gone down very, 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 very fast. Also, hedge funds have sold global stocks over the last month at the fastest pace in 12 years. Like, that's insane as well. So first up, we've got AMD, and this has been hit hard. Well, every stock's going to be massively discounted, or at least gone down a lot. So that's going to be the common theme for today's video. And yeah, 120 shares. So I've managed to get to my 100 share mark that I wanted. I've now just gone beyond and I'm just buying as much as I can, because these prices, I think, in my opinion, in the next 5 years, we're going to be like loving it. And yeah, it's like when in 2022, like a lot of people laughed at me, and like, because I was down a lot, because 2022 was a rough time. Like, that was really bad. And a lot of stocks were down. So, but I was buying up, and also just leaving and just waiting out until things recovered. And then my portfolio like went crazy, and I was up a lot of money, and I'm still up a lot of money in total in my portfolio. So you just got to try and ignore the noise of like people panicking and people saying, oh, you should be selling and stuff like that. Like, if you're in the stock market for the next, God knows how much, like, if you're in the stock market for decades, like, it's all fine. Like, these are going to be little blips that you'll go, wow, I wish I did buy more then. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, I don't want to be in the position where like, I wish I bought, I'm going to want to come out of this and be like, I did buy as much as I could. So yeah, AMD 120 shares down 20%. Fubo is also, I'm up 80%, but in the last week it's down 5%, which, to be fair, it's done well compared to the others. Like, it's held okay. So congratulations, Fubo. Grab has been hit like a ton of bricks, to be honest with you. And the fact that it's got 6 billion in cash, like, and what's the market cap? The market cap's 14 billion and they've got 6 billion in cash. Like, it's just insane. Like, in my opinion, I think this is a great stock. And I do want to be buying more. I've just run out of cash at the moment. I put all of it before the ISA closed, so that's why I don't have any cash. But when I do, I'm going to start concentrating on Grab and AMD, because I've bought enough SoFi for now. I don't need to buy any more SoFi. So Nike, obviously, this is one that I would have bought before all of this, to be honest with you. Obviously now with the tariff news, it is a bit worrying of holding something like Nike, especially because of what I explained earlier in the video. Their margins could get absolutely hit if these things do happen. If this is what Donald Trump actually will put in place. And there's still a lot of people saying it, even though he's announced it and said it, will he actually is he going to negotiate over the weekend? Is there going to be announcements on Monday saying we've negotiated with these countries, blah, 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 and all this? And then, do you know what I mean? In a week or 2 or 3 weeks time, he ends up dropping it, or does not as extreme tariffs as what he's done. But Nike is in a situation where it is a bit worrying in that sense. But I still think, as a long-term play in the next 5-10 years, I personally think it's a great price, and I would be buying if I didn't have as many stocks as I did, because I don't want to have more than like 6 stocks. Palantir is up next. God, this has been hit 15% down in the week and 18% in the month. $72 now, and we're up 283%. And this was a stock that I was buying when the markets were red. My portfolio was red. Everything was awful. It was really bad. I was down 60% on Palantir at one point. And the fact that we're in a crash or correction, you could say, I'm still up 283%, even with this massive downturn that we're all having. And it just shows you, like, that's why I was buying, and that's why I'm buying now, because yes, this could go on for a year, this could go on for a year and a half or whatever, but as long as you've got more money than your expenses, you're getting paid more than your expenses, then every month you're like, well, it's cool, I'll just keep buying. Like, do you know what I mean? And then in years to come, you'll be like thinking, I was glad I did that, you would think. So hopefully, obviously, this doesn't become like the worst stock market crash in the history of the stock market, and we all do lose our money, but I don't think that will happen. But yeah, SoFi is $9.42, and I've got 1,802 shares of this. I'm down 23%, and I've been constantly buying SoFi, hence why it'd be great if I could get 2,000 shares. But like I said, I need to start concentrating on like grabbing AMD and building those positions up, because I've got a lot in SoFi that, just to balance it all out, it'd be better to just get some AMD and things like that. But yeah, SoFi is a great price. Like the PE ratio is 20. Yeah, PE ratio is 20, and the forward PE, I believe, is about 10, or yeah, I think it's 10. So I just think it's going to be another great stock in the future. And it's one of those where like it's down a lot now, but give it 5 years time, I think I'll look back and be like, I was glad I was buying. So Tesla down 10% of the week, but I'm up 8%, and yeah, that's also down as well. So in total, I've got no cash. So in total, I've got £65,777 in my portfolio, and we're down that amount in the week. That's how bad it was. But as you can see, my max return is 137%, and year 49%, and then 3 months is bad, down 25%, 26%. So yeah, I've been hit hard. A lot of people have been hit hard as well with it. Times like this, you just got to stay strong, like I say, and you've just got to look past the fact that if you don't feel comfortable, then don't invest in these situations. If you need to see how the tariffs will play out and you want to wait it out, then fair enough, and I get that. There's also the other situation as well, like if, like I say, on Monday there could be some good news that countries have worked out a deal, and then Trump could decide maybe in a few weeks he doesn't want to go ahead with all this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just coming up with things that, because you know what Trump's like, and he won't want the stock market to be crashing, like in the long term, in the long run. You don't want to be known as the person that crashed the stock market, like let's say 40% or whatever. So he will want the stock market to be going, and when things happen, positive news, you could see this market just rebounding like as quick as it kind of went down. So yeah, but anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.